Hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. Whoa. I can see, I can hear, going crazy for the light. It's got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our local establishment. After a short break, we're back once again. I am still OLED Ed Fries. This is still the natural Astrid Pizarro, but we got a new special guest this time. Joining us from Marvel Talk, joining us from Japanese Wrestling Update, joining us from Andre and Mel Ball Wrestling Talk with their Pura Show Wrestling. What is that?
Puroresu.
There we go. Almost.
Not even close, sir. Not even close.
It's a little bit off. We're joined by my Marvel Talk tag team partner, Andre C's, here to talk about WrestleMania Night 1. We're here. It starts in just over an hour and a half, just under an hour and a half. So we got to keep this quick because we got to get live at 7 o'clock to make sure we don't miss any of the show.
Uh-oh. I better make sure I push this over five my time. So,
Andre, to give Astrid a little bit of a break from talking, talk to us about your expectations of WrestleMania Night 1.
So for Night 1, I'm actually really excited. This, like most years for Mania, I'm like, okay, I'll watch because it's just habit as a wrestling fan. You watch WrestleMania every year, right? I think this year there's a couple matches last year that really excited me, but the show overall I was just like, okay, it's a Mania. With this one, there's so much good stuff on both nights, and then there's Jade Cargill, who's just not. But I'll give her a chance. Like she wasn't well used in the other place, and again, I am not an AEW homer. I am a Japanese wrestling homer. So if you guys take all your shots at AEW all you want, I don't care. Ain't gonna bother me none. But no, I just it looks like top to bottom Night 1 and Night 2. There's no bad matches. There's nothing that's just meh on there. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a story. Everything has something to draw you in, and that's what makes me excited about WrestleMania this year.
Astrid, your thoughts on WrestleMania Night 1 as it's holding 2 of the coveted 3 WrestleMania women's matches on this show?
I mean, Becky and Rhea have had, I think, like a pretty good build-up, so I'm excited to watch that. And like you mentioned, with us offline, to put it like that, I definitely think it's going to be the opener, and I'd like to see that. I know Mommy's going to definitely come out on top, but still, it's going to be great to see it. I feel like both ladies are going to give us a lot for an opener and WrestleMania. Again, we had the six-pack challenge with the Judgment Day, and then hopefully the split of the tag team championships. I think that would be nice to see because both divisions have a lot of tag teams that can get involved. So that would be nice to see in the future, especially with the draft coming up soon. This one, it's the only one of the few that I would have liked to see change on SmackDown, which would have been Mysterio and Andrade versus Dom and Santos. I would have preferred this to be a multi-person match because I really wanted the LDF versus LWO kind of thing and having the girls involved. That's the only downfall of it, and I feel like they could have done both teams instead of having 2 people. But again, I feel like something bigger is going to happen here with this one as well. Gunther and Sami. I mean, as much as I know Sami's not going to win, I'm still going to be cheering on for him because he's one of my favorites. So, and then Jimmy and Jey. I mean, that's going to be amazing. I like how their goal was to have their one-on-one Mania match, and they're definitely going to get it. So it's nice to see when that happens to them. And the 6-woman tag. I'm really excited for that one. I definitely can't wait to see both of the teams for that one. In the main event, I'm not looking forward to watching The Rock, but everybody else, yes.
I'll say this. I'm happy we're finally going to get a good brother versus brother match at WrestleMania. As much as the Hardys had a okay match at Mania, I think these guys will much top that. And again, that match was like awkward to me. And I
Now,
love
no,
that.
just so we're clear, we're going to have another good brother versus brother match because there has been one
Oh, okay.
fantastic.
Okay, the
Bret
first one
Wow.
since
Bret
10.
Owen at 10.
Since 10, the first really good one since WrestleMania 10.
I'll agree with you. I think the Hardys is kind of meh when it comes to it, but I'm like, let's not disgrace Bret versus Owen. It's one of the greatest WrestleMania matches.
What a shame as a Canadian you forgot about that one.
A Canadian from Alberta on top of it all. Again, I didn't become a fan until 1999. This is after Owen. Bret's about to retire and he's in WCW, which I'm not even watching at this point. Again, Bret can go meh. Sean was right. I've always been a Sean mark over Bret Hart. 100%.
Yes, I agree. The three of us are in agreement, but that's probably the last time we're all going to be in agreement about anything tonight. Because here we go. We're going to start this off. We put all this on the side because we've got graphics.
I'm in the middle.
Thanks to Andre, we got graphics. I'm going to start where I think WWE should start. I don't think they will, but I think this is where they should start. Becky versus Rhea. Andre, go. Actually, you know what? Astrid, you talked about it a little bit before. Let's start with you. What about your thoughts on the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match?
I think this would be really interesting because, like I mentioned a few minutes ago, I feel like Mommy's going to come out on top. But I definitely want to see what the aftermath of this is for Becky because she's in that battle within herself of she finally sees somebody that the crowd is cheering more for them than her. So in that aspect, she feels like it's her versus the world at this time. So it'll be interesting to see what she does after this match is done and how her character goes forward after this is done. So I definitely see Rhea still retaining it and just interesting of like what happens afterwards. And I'm hoping we kind of move on to Rhea versus Liv since we don't have Liv at WrestleMania in any way, shape, or form. And I feel like that would have been nice to see. I'm still on that campaign that I would have loved to see the Andre the Giant Battle Royal on one kickoff night and then having the Women's Battle Royal on the second kickoff night. I feel like it would have been nice to involve everybody else. So just a little bit upsetting to see people like, let's say, a Tiffany or a Nia or even a Liv who have been really staples in the women's division as of recent weeks and months, and then not have them at WrestleMania at all. It just feel like we're getting robbed there. So aside from that, but I feel like these two are still gonna kill it. They're definitely gonna show us why, even though they're opening, they're gonna feel like a main event match.
And just before we go any further, I just want to go ahead and shout out Ophelia Payne here saying, I'm here for shenanigans. I'm here, so they're absolutely going to be shenanigans. But if you want an in-depth review of WWE 2K24, you should definitely go ahead and check out, I believe it's Xbox Addicts. And you can go ahead and see a wonderful review from our good friend Ophelia Payne right there. So go ahead and check out that work as she is a fantastic games reviewer. Thank you for joining us. We also have Barry pumping in saying, Rhea is having an amazing career since maybe Wrestler of the Year 2023. Dominic took her under his wing. She says under the arm.
What? Barry making bad decisions. I said I was going to make bad decisions on this show. Barry making the bad decisions here.
No. He is correct. As said by our local establishment's own WW representative on the year-end review show, Dominic Mysterio was the 2023 Male Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah. We're gonna go back to that.
Not even close.
Andre, don't get him started. No, don't get him started. No.
Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
Dominic Mysterio wrestled every top star.
Seth Rollins.
Including Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Yes. He wrestled every top star, including Seth Rollins. He helped
Seth Rollins
put NXT on his back.
Wrestler of the Year. He was
no.
You can have that opinion, but my opinion is Seth Rollins.
Agreed.
Okay. Yeah, and see, she agrees with me. So 2-1, we win.
Andre with a lukewarm take says Ophelia Payne.
She said Barry.
I read
Barry.
Andre, so
no.
Barry.
Speaking of Andre, go ahead, Andre. Rhea versus Becky.
Mommy stays on top. I could see them going with Becky, but I want Rhea to retain. She had an incredible 2023, taking Dom under her wing, making him better, and then just how she's elevated herself. The entirety of the women's division has carried this title and made it something special. It's just been awesome. And I can't wait to see what 2024 ends up with her and who she like. I know this title eventually leaves her waist, but I don't think it's anybody currently on Raw and possibly not on SmackDown. I think it's gonna be somebody coming up or somebody coming from Japan if she doesn't end up in NXT. You never know. Again, we don't know. We saw her today. That didn't deliver.
She's signed to NXT. That's all right.
Yeah.
It could be a 2 month on the main roster. It's very possible. Again, like I want to see Mommy win this because I think she's doing some of the best work she's ever done, and she's only getting better.
They took each other under their wings. It was the most
Oh,
beautiful
yeah.
relationship in wrestling. A true love story.
Yeah, a best friend love story. I love it.
Also, I want to, you know what? Say what it is about this. Rhea Ripley says if Buddy Murphy had a storyline like she had with Dom, she would have beat the bitch up.
Mm-hmm.
She said that on the Impulsive show. If you haven't checked it out, please do. She also talks about her most interesting piercing, and that was something I didn't expect to hear. So if you yeah, there's an interesting location for her most painful piercing. We'll talk about that after the show. Anyways, talking about things that we're going to talk about on this show that aren't going to get us canceled. Let's talk about the fact that we're going to be talking about our first big entrance of the night here with Rhea Ripley. Motionless in White will be live in attendance playing Rhea Ripley to the ring. That is going to be very fun to see. She got the big entrance over in Perth, Australia. She's now getting the superstar entrance of the night here by having Motionless in White here to go ahead and play her to the ring. There's no chance Becky wins this in any realm of reality, which makes any sense. I think Becky is vastly overrated. I think Becky is a fine competitor, but that's about it. Rhea Ripley won this title last year. There's no reason she should lose it now. And there are much more stories. And unfortunately, her problem is that she's been so tied to what was for most of 2023 the biggest story on Raw, which was the Judgment Day, that her own story kind of took a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
But they've been doing a very good job since about Survivor Series of putting her back at the forefront of her own story, with the return of Nia Jax, with Becky Lynch coming back to challenge her after, with her run after having the run in NXT, Liv Morgan coming back and being on the Revenge Liv tour. There's a lot of stuff going on that Rhea can do. There are more stories to tell with Rhea at the top of the card. Mummy on top as always. We move on to the next, but go ahead and give your thoughts in the chat. As I have it listed, this is Spy versus Spy, as I have it listed in the chat, or Uso versus Uso, or otherwise Yeet or no Yeet. Andre, are you team Yeet or no Yeet?
So which one's Yeet and which one's no Yeet?
Yeet is Jey Uso. No Yeet is Jimmy Uso.
I'm joking, but no, I'm team Yeet. I think Jey takes this. I really do. Again, they're essentially carbon copies of each other that finally each found their own identity in this last year, which I'm very happy about, because before this past year, I couldn't tell the brothers apart. I have no idea who each one. Neither had a distinct character about them. The only distinct thing that was Jimmy's married to Naomi. That was the only distinction you had between these guys. In reality, we're now, I feel like each is coming to their own as they're having separated them and creating their own people about them, with Jey doing his Yeet stuff and creating this character on Raw, being Cody's friend, and then just having this world, and then Jimmy still in the shadow of Roman, but creating a personality of his own on his own that doesn't rely on Jey. And same for Jey, doesn't rely on Jimmy. I've really enjoyed this, and it finally coming to a head. I'm happy to finally see this match, because again, I think it's a match that people have wanted for years, to see these two finally just see what they can do against each other. And each has evolved their moveset a bit too. That's not like they were both a very similar moveset when they were tag team. So again, they're both changing things up, and I look forward to seeing what this brings us, and I'm going with Jay because yeet, yeet, yeet.
I don't know if this is a fever dream of something that actually happened or something I dreamed happened, but I feel like I've seen somewhere that there was a story put out there where Jay said to Jimmy, let's just do this. Let's get this match. Let's have this match. And then let's get back together as a tag team. I don't know if it's a fever dream of something I dreamt trying to figure out this whole weekend, or if this is something that actually happened on WWE television. I don't even remember anymore. All I know, I am Team Yeet, Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, the right-hand man Jey Uso. For the past 3 years since Roman Reigns, since those matches with Roman Reigns, he has been fantastic. The character work, the storylines, everything that revolved around him becoming his own person, him becoming his own star. He is a main eventer. He is main event Jey Uso. If Drew McIntyre is to become the champion on Raw, he is the first to fall to Drew McIntyre on that brand. I think he is prime position to be somebody to take a shot at the World Championship coming out of WrestleMania, should it be somebody like a Drew McIntyre holding that championship. I think Jimmy's done some great work. I think Jimmy's great. I think the no yeet is a very funny and interesting way to go with this. But at the end of the day, this all ties into the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match. And while I want Jey Uso to win, while I think he needs to win to portray that main event Jey thing, I think this is going to be a story of the bloodline under extreme control. I think Jey Uso wins. I think that the bloodline potentially wins tonight. I think that
Jimmy's no yeet, though.
Jimmy is no yeet. Yes, I understand that I just praised Jay for 4 minutes, and now I'm telling you that I'm picking Jimmy because I think
Jay. You said you picked Jay.
I said I love Jay and I want Jay to win.
However, okay. Sorry.
I know. I think there's going to be this incredible storyline where everything's working against them, and everybody who tries to be on Cody's side is going to lose. Everybody who's trying to be on Cody's side is going to go down. I think Jay loses. I think Sami loses. I think Kevin loses. I think anybody who could potentially be a person to help Cody Rhodes in tribal combat on night 2 is going to go down. And that there's going to be this who's going to save the day mentality. And we'll talk about tomorrow who I think those saviors might be. But I think here and right now, I think this is an opportunity to let Jimmy get one over on Jay. And I think it's Jimmy who wins this match. Storyline-wise, makes more sense, although I think it'd be better if Jay won. But I think it's going to be Jimmy. Noob & Co. says Jey Uso winning. Astrid, what about you? What do you think?
I'm in the same brother you're at as well, because I love Jay and I love the way that he's been able to distance himself from the bloodline and do his own thing and everything. But I feel like because Jimmy has been more in the background with Roman, I feel like he needs this win to like really kind of highlight him a little bit more than Jay right now. So I definitely feel like Jimmy's gonna win it, even though I wish it was Jay. But I feel like Jimmy's gonna end up victorious in the end and kind of portray the way of like, if you're in the bloodline, you're gonna be on top, versus obviously Jay saying, "Oh, I'm not in the bloodline, so it's not gonna be the same for me." So I definitely wish Jay would win it, though. That's the only thing that I'm like, it has to be torn in that aspect. But I feel like Jimmy needs the win more than Jay does right now. So I think it'll be interesting moving forward. And again, I was like, just expect a lot of super kicks during this match. But it's gonna be fun, though.
For me personally, I think there's a lot of. I think night 1 has to be a story of the bloodline, the dominance of the bloodline, the greatness of the bloodline, and then night 2 is. Anything goes. Who knows what's going to happen? But I think everything up to Cody versus Roman could potentially be bloodline runs everything if they have a chance.
I agree with that. And this will be simply a super kick party.
Yes.
It will indeed.
I had to say it. I had to say it. I know you hate them, but I had to say it.
You know, if they could run a Target, they might have better attendance. But, you know, they can't run a Target, apparently. Moving on to places that can be found at Target, you can go ahead and find some of these figures at a Target. We got a ladder match, a 6-pack ladder match for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships, where Michael Cole gave a very interesting wording where he says that both sets of titles must be pulled down for the match to end. He did, however, not say that both sets of titles had to be pulled down by the same team for the match to win. And I think that means we're going to have a split in the tag team championships. And so I'm going to give 2 answers for who I think is going to win. I think that one set of championships is going to be pulled down by Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. I think those 2 shenaniganing heels are going to become tag team champions. They have been trying to do something with Austin Theory for a long time. I think they see dollar signs when it comes to Maddie Wahlberg, Grayson Waller right there. I think there is nothing better for them to do than for these 2 to win the tag team championships here. And for my second tag team, I've been saying this for months with the Judgment Day storyline. There's one person who's thought he's part of the Judgment Day who doesn't understand he's not. And in this match, he is going to climb the ladders and pull down the championships and think he's done something good for the Judgment Day. I think the Awesome Truth are going to become the tag team champions on the Raw brand, and they are going to, and Truth is going to think he did something good for the Judgment Day again, because I still think he thinks he's part of Judgment Day, no matter how many times he gets kicked out.
National treasure, Truth. Oh, geez. This one's tough, though, because I feel like it's feels kind of weird having only like 2 heel tag teams, but I feel like this is the time to take away the titles from Judgment Day. As much as I would love having Damian with the championship, it's time to take him away. So I definitely not picking them as winners, but I definitely was thinking along the lines of Ed with Awesome Truth of like R-Truth is going to get so confused that he takes one of the sets of titles and doesn't realize that he's won partially the match. So I thought about that too, but the second team, I kept thinking DIY because I would like them to have that kind of like WrestleMania moment, and to have it together after thinking like they were not going to be together in WWE to like now be on the Triple H. I feel like that will be something fun to see, and to have them have that kind of run. But at the same time, it's like they're both from the same brands. So definitely sticking with Awesome Truth. And I kind of like Ophelia. I was thinking New Catch Republic would be something fun to have on SmackDown as tag team champions. I would love to have Tyler Bate with gold in WWE sometime soon. And I think it'll be fun and something different for them as well. So I'm sticking with Awesome Truth and New Catch Republic.
And Newbin Cole agrees. He thinks Awesome Truth and New Catch Republic. Andre, sorry, I didn't interrupt.
Yeah, no. As soon as Ophelia posted, I'm like, damn it, that's one of my picks. But I do have a thing here. What year was it where we last saw a ladder match at WrestleMania?
33.
WrestleMania 33. Do you remember what song we heard after all the teams were in the ring?
The Hardys.
No. I have a feeling because they're like
under
Hardys.
Contract.
No, he stated his contract was up in March.
Yeah,
half of the team.
His brother's not. Jeff's got injury time added on.
I thought he was out too. Fuck. I was hoping. Again, you never know. But again, that's what I want.
Never say never. But
yeah,
as far as I understand, Jeff is apparently still under contract.
Yep.
So I thought they were both out. God damn it! But I would love to hear that like 7 years later. But yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I think Awesome Truth. It's just to rub it in Damian's face a little about this is why this is happening, Bobby. Is what's going to happen, and then I'm going to Catch Republic for the SmackDown titles because again, it'd be great. It would be great. Just I like New Catch Republic. They're one of my favorite tag teams. So one of my favorite people in wrestling right now. So yeah.
I agree with Ophelia. I think Grayson Waller having any sort of power or championship or privilege is going to make him the most unlistenable person in the world. And imagine a world where both he and Logan Paul are champions on the SmackDown brand. They're never gonna shut up. So there's this world where I think that all kind of fits together. And they got made to look like fools last night on SmackDown by being sent to the stadium to catch Kevin Owens and Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton and Kevin Owens outsmarted them somehow. Who knows? But it's just going to be fun, and I think we all agree. We've all made 2 picks. I don't know if that's just because I did, but I think we all agree that these tag team titles are getting split, and that we're getting 2 separate teams winning this ladder match.
That's why there's 2 ladders in the picture.
I think so too.
2 ladders on top, 2 ladders on the bottom. It means 2 sets of tag team titles. Let's go. I'm reading completely into bullshit, but
we move on to the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history, and the man who stole Chad Gable's spot, Sami Zayn. Astrid, go ahead and give your thoughts on Gunther versus Sami Zayn here.
I love rooting for Sami though, and I hate to do it. I really, really hate it. I promise I hate it. But Gunther's definitely going to retain his championship. I don't see Sami winning this, unfortunately. I wish he would, but I don't think he would. I definitely think the person to win it would be either Gable or Dragunov when he goes to the main roster. So I'm not expecting Gunther to lose this title at Mania, unfortunately. But it's still going to be fun to watch Sami have that moment of he thinks he's got it, but then Gunther comes out of nowhere and just retains the championship. And I think also Gunther retaining will have that kind of reaction from the crowd too. Like he's definitely going to be hated even more because he's going against the beloved Sami Zayn in the community. So yeah, it's going to be tough to be rooting to not root against Sami, but yeah, it's definitely going to be Gunther retaining. I have nothing else for that one.
Just as another question for all of you, Auntie Collins threw out a thing in the Discord about different things that are going to happen here. The bonus question for this match is, how many chops do you think Sami Zayn is going to take in this match?
Oh, his chest is going to be just blood red. The vein vessel's broken. He's going to be bleeding by the end of this, I believe.
Yeah,
we got our good friend Mike the Ref jumping in here. Good friend of ours. He puts both Ladies Wrestling Showcase and Andre and Melbo on Backbreaker Media. So if you haven't already, go ahead and take a look at that. And he says that they're playing out this Rocky story to a T over the last few weeks, and that Zayn wins for Gable. I think Gable costs him. I think Gable costs him this match because Gable can't have anybody other than him win this championship from Gunther. We also have Barry Monkey jumping in saying, I think Sammy's turning heel. He's been acting a bit odd, losing it, going to turn full heel. And we have Noob & Co. saying Gunther retains. Hopefully Ilya Dragunov to beat Gunther at Bash in Berlin in August. Andre, what are your thoughts on Gunther versus Sami Zayn?
Gunther beats the living piss out of this guy, and Gunther wins. I don't think anybody in this world believes that Sami Zayn can win this, and if he does, they're doing a very big disservice to Gunther here. Because again, probably the person who I know is probably the craziest person I've ever met in my life thinks that, but I love you, Mike. I'm just kidding. But no, it's a detriment to Gunther to lose this year because while Zayn, he won a gauntlet match, he's not the guy. It's going to be a Dragunov in Berlin, or it's going to be a Gable at a SummerSlam. It's going to be something that Gunther, and it's going to be a big, high-profile match. This is on the bigger stage of them all. This isn't that big, high-profile match, in my opinion. So it's Gunther, and he destroys Sami Zayn's chest.
And for those that want to do it, I'm going to throw up while we're sitting here talking about the wonderful Mike the Ref. We're going to go ahead and throw his stuff right down here so you can find all the wonderful stuff that he does.
Can I say it?
Go ahead.
You can find all of Mike's great stuff at youtube.com/@backbreaker video, all the great wrestling content he has past, and all his great AEW watch songs, which you can see live on Twitch at twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. And over there, on top of having his AEW watch songs, he has a lot of great gaming content he does there. But if you want to, you can see him do all that live, or if you want to watch it in a replay, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find content from him, Mr. PJC, the man whose sticker I just picked up before this show, Mr. Rick Jules, and the freaking guest, Kayla J.
Yeah, so I'm going to leave that up for a little bit longer as we go ahead. I think Sami Zayn loses this match. I think it's going to absolutely be Gunther. I agree with both of you. His chest is going to be beat red. It's going to be blood red. It's going to be like ripping open at the seams.
Purple.
I think it's at least 10 to 20 chops he's going to take in this match. Gunther is going to win because he's just on a roll and there's no reason to take it off him here.
Mike's post the best. He's going to be on Twitch tonight after Mania watching the NXT promotion.
According to that means he'll be having a Collision watch along at I believe 11:30 is the time for Collision tonight.
It's only 9:30 for him, so it's not that late. So it's
a special time due to the NCAA according to AEW.
Well, the NCAA is play. They do have a game tonight.
And not totally to just avoid having to go head to head with WrestleMania Night 1. It's totally because of the NCAA and has nothing else to do with it.
Well, it is. There's actually an NCAA basketball game on.
We also have Barry Monkey coming in here and saying that Dominic beating Gunther on Dom's home ground, a cage match behind bars. And Mike the Ref says the NCAA will be done by about 10:30 at the latest. All right, so we all have Gunther here. So I said we were all going to disagree on things, and we all picked Rhea Ripley, and then we all picked the Awesome Truth in at least one of the teams to win the ladder match. We had different picks for the Spy versus Spy match when Uso faces Uso, and then we all picked Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
I guess I'm wrong for the Usos match, but okay.
Andre, we're going to let the negativity seep out of you here for a little bit here as we talk about Damage Control taking on, as I have them, Team Bad 2.0. I don't know what they're calling themselves, but Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi.
Well, Jade Cargill's crew was the baddies in AEW, so that your Team Bad does work. But yeah, I've pretty much the entire time Jade Cargill was in AEW, I hated her. She was put in high-profile matches and kept fucking shit up. Is there a possibility she appears on tonight and something up? Yeah, probably. Maybe. But I hope upon hope that WWE trained her better, and got her in better shape. But then again, she did work in the Performance Center originally in her early days before they let her go. So really her basis for training and her sucking in AEW is because of WWE's Performance Center. But I hope the Performance Center has since fixed her. And I want Damage Control to win, mainly because I like Damage Control, not because of Jade Cargill, not my hate for her, but I'm a big fan of Damage Control. I'm a big fan of Kairi and Asuka and Dakota Kai. And I'm just picking Damage Control because I like them. Simple as that.
Good. Let the hate flow through you. Anger leads to fear.
Fear if she surprises me tonight and does well, I'm still not going to like her, but I'm not going to hate her as much. I'm not going to hate her anymore.
I think putting this match together as a 6-person tag is specific for 2 reasons. One, to protect Asuka because Asuka has a niggling injury that she's going to work through for this match to go ahead and have it happen. But the second reason is to make sure that they can put Jade Cargill into spots where she can succeed. They're going to make sure that everybody in this match knows how to work with Jade Cargill, knows how to do exactly what they need to make Jade Cargill look like a star. Mm-hmm. They have done a very good job of giving her a long time to prepare for this. They've been having her work with Natalya. They've been having her work at the PC. They've been sending her to different people to train with to get different styles to help mold Jade Cargill into something that they see as a ready competitor. In her Royal Rumble appearance, she did very good job in the time that she was there of going ahead and having a very good outing in the Royal Rumble. A Royal Rumble is very different from having a wrestling match. I understand. I'm just saying they have done a very good job of knowing what they want to do with Jade Cargill. They signed her months ago. And for a long time, probably too long in my opinion, they kept teasing, is she going to show up here? Is she going to show up there? They should have just had her training without having her show up, just announce the signing and then leave it be. They're going to make sure that they maximize what she can do for them. They're going to eventually have to let her float on her own. But for right now, they're going to put her with two of the best pros in the business on her side, with Naomi and Bianca, because these two can get it done on any stage, whether it be TNA, whether it be on the WrestleMania main event stage as Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks has happened. Oh, and on the other side, you have Kairi Sane, one of the best Stardom wrestlers that's ever come to the United States. You have Asuka, who's had the longest winning streak for a women's champion in NXT history. These competitors that she's in there, and Dakota Kai is no slouch. She doesn't have the accolades of either of the other two, but by the fact that I don't have the ability to sit here and say that she has the ability to go with anybody in this business. She is fantastic, all the way back to her days as Evie in Stardom and other promotions. I believe it was Shimmer. I think she might have gone by Evie as well. I know it was Stardom, but I don't know where else.
I know. I think Shimmer too. Yeah,
I knew she'd done some time in Japan before she came over to do some stuff in the United States, and I would assume if she was here in the United States, she was working Shimmer, because that was at one point the premier all women's promotion in the United States. There's no way in hell that the Bianca Belair's team doesn't win this match. They're not putting an L on Jade Cargill this early for any reason. There ain't no shenanigans that they can pull where they're going to win this. I feel bad for Asuka. I feel bad for the fact that she's going to have another loss at WrestleMania. But at the same point, she's going to be able to have a premier match, is going to get time and going to get focus from a large portion of media, and that's an important thing. And I know Noob's coming in here. I'm going with the baddies winning because I know a lot of Asuka fans are going to be upset that Asuka will go to 0-6, and I hope that these WrestleMania losing streaks will be a storyline in the future. I don't even necessarily know if it's going to be a storyline or the losing streak. I just think that a lot of these times, when it comes to getting to WrestleMania, Asuka just seems to be on the wrong side of whatever story is being told. And had this been a women's tag team championship match, where it was Bianca and Naomi versus Kairi and Asuka, I think that would have been a win for Asuka. I think they would have put them over Bianca and Naomi, and I think that would have been an interesting thing. But the Jade of it all, they're not putting an L on Jade. And there is no reason to put an L on Jade this early. If you have as much invested in her as it seems like WWE has invested in her, if they see her as the star that they see her, and I don't necessarily see that in her. I don't think she's as big a star as they do. But you know what? It's about representation. We talked about it with NXT. We have 3 African-American ladies here. We have 2 Japanese ladies on the other side. And we have I think it's an Australian, Dakota Kai.
Half Samoan too.
Half Samoan too. Okay. Maybe she can be part of the bloodline if she wants to be.
Yeah.
I mean, Naomi's married to Samoans, so that counts for a little bit. But I mean, I'm just saying,
Samoan bloodline implodes in this match.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot of great representation.
Naomi has to win in this match because it's the bloodline dominance.
Yes, the bloodline dominance.
Hey, I guess I'm changing my pick because it's bloodline dominance. There, yeah, bloodline wins.
Ophelia says it's also unfortunate the women's tag titles aren't being defended again this year. I think this is because Asuka's got a niggling injury and they didn't want her going out there and having Kairi go out there alone, or to have to do a freebird thing with these women's tag team championships. I think they're just going to go ahead and say, we can put the titles in a prominent position by being on the card without being on the line. And I think that at least they're being showcased in some
She's a Kiwi.
Fashion.
Yeah, she's from New Zealand, but she is half Irish and Samoan, I believe.
And Ophelia says, "Did you happen to know why there was no Warrior Award this year?" No idea. Triple H,
because they fired Dana.
As we all know from Paul Heyman's speech, Triple H has taken the reins of this, and this Hall of Fame class was picked entirely by Triple H this year, as opposed to in the past where it was a committee and mostly led by Vince McMahon. So they decided to go away from the Warrior Award, which is fine for a year.
So the question: why doesn't he want to actually have his friend Dave Bautista finally get his induction speech?
Because Dave Bautista has chosen to take a later induction, and that's entirely up to Dave Bautista when that happens. WWE has said whenever Dave's ready, we're more than willing to put him in the Hall of Fame. But because he wanted to do it in front of fans, it's now on Dave to come back to them and say, "I'm ready for my opportunity." It's not on that. They made the call and said, "Dave, we want you in the Hall of Fame," and he's said yes to doing it, but he wanted to do it in front of fans. Hopefully, it'll be next year. But yes, Dave Bautista does need to go in at some point in the near future.
The 20-year anniversary of him winning his first world title it would make sense next year.
Speaking of one form of representation, we go to another. As even though Dragon Lee is no longer having his first WrestleMania match this year, we do have Dirty Dominant Mysterio teaming with Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma, taking on Rey Mysterio and Mr. Charlotte Flair, Andrade himself.
Oh, that is the best part of WrestleMania this year. I don't have to watch a goddamn Charlotte Flair match, and that makes me so happy.
Barry Monkey says Dana Brooke had her first proper match in TNA on Thursday. Happy to report she still can't wrestle.
I respect Charlotte Flair that she is a great professional wrestler. I just don't like her. I never have. I never will. I don't understand why people like her, but y'all can like her. It's fine. You guys make bad choices. I make bad choices too. Yeah.
Speaking about this match, what bizarre sponsorship to be on this match. What is it? Snickers, I believe it is.
Yes, right behind Andre there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the Snickers, yo.
Eat some Snickers.
You need some Snickers because you have the haterade when you don't have your Snickers. Anyways, last minute substitution. Rey Mysterio and Andrade are going to go ahead and win this.
Because wasn't it supposed to be Dragon Lee?
It was supposed to be Dragon Lee. He had stomach problems last night or got attacked. It depends on how you want to define it, because he was lying on the ground holding his stomach and growling. And,
he had diarrhea.
Like, I don't know. I don't know who did it. I don't know what happened. Carlito attacked him. I don't know what happened. I don't know who hit him. Carlito did it. It absolutely was Carlito. But I don't know what happened to Dragon Lee, but it was absolutely Carlito.
Diarrhea.
Thank you, Ophelia. That sounds very accurate.
I'm always hungry, so that's who I am. I'm just always angry and hungry, and I'm always hangry.
He shit himself because he was facing Dominic.
There you go.
But no, I think the last minute substitution means that we're going to get a babyface win here. Also, I think we're going to be a bit heel heavy on this show for the most part. So I think it wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea to have another babyface win here at some point on this show. I also think that this is a good starting off point to bring back Zelina Vega and Andrade back together as a pair. Those two are fantastic together, and I absolutely adore them together. And it was so great to see them reunited last night on SmackDown. Astrid, what do you got?
Well, I didn't get to pick for last time, so I'm going to pick Team Batty, by the way.
Wait, you didn't get to talk about the last one?
No, too late now.
Yeah,
anyway.
You skipped
Oh,
her.
hold on. You can go back.
I was going to say, I already said it. Team Batty. There's nothing else.
Do you want to talk about anything else in the match? I can't believe I forgot you on a women's match.
I can't believe you.
Just like you forgot Mark on a couple matches on the last show.
Damn, that wasn't me.
There's a reason why I ignore Mark. I don't normally ignore Astrid.
That's true. That's a gimmick thing for him. No, I was gonna say I'm happy for this one. It's just like you see, not only Bianca having the streak, I wouldn't have her lose when she has a streak going on already. And Naomi coming back, she comes back for reasons. So put the spotlight on her if you can. And then Jade, I know they will probably protect her in that aspect with having her with the veterans in the ring. So definitely Team Batty on that one. So now we can move on to the next one.
Okay.
This one though, I can only. I'm so torn about it because I don't care who wins in that aspect of like I love the representation in this whole thing, but me being me, I would prefer Andrade and Mysterio to win this, and hopefully we get some shenanigans with the rest of the group because since they're not on the card, might as well have them do something outside somehow. That would be the only thing, but definitely love the Selena Andrade reunion that we got. So happy, tranquilo. I'm happy. I love it.
Is this the first time that we've had 4 Latinos in a match on a WrestleMania card in general?
Probably.
Like, this is pretty good representation for 4 Latinos all being able to have this opportunity. I also want to shout out, I don't remember who did the interview, so I apologize for not giving credit to this. But I was watching an interview where somebody asked Rey Mysterio this weekend, do you regret winning the match at SummerSlam 2005 to win the custody of Dominic? And Rey Mysterio goes, I've never been asked that question, but if I were to go back and redo it, I would have told Eddie used to take the son of a bitch.
Damn. Great answer though.
So, but yeah, I think we've all had it. We've all had a chance to talk about this match now, right? I didn't skip anybody. Andre, did you talk about this?
Not yet.
Okay, go ahead. See, I checked this time.
No. So last year, Rey Mysterio beat Dominic in what I figured was going to be Dominic beating Rey. So this year, I'm gonna go with Rey and his partner there, whose name I can't remember right now. Santos
Andrade.
Escobar. No, Santos. Not Rey.
Ray.
Dom and sorry, I meant Dom.
Oh.
Dom and Santos.
Okay.
Dom and Santos. I'm sorry, my brain is not.
I got confused. You're like Becky Gray. I'm like, okay, Andrade.
Yeah,
no, sorry, I apologize. I mean to pick. I want to pick. I'm gonna go with Dom and Santos again. I think Noob's right. Carlito turns on the LWO in this match to join Legado, and Dom gets to pin his dad, which he should have got to do last year, but they fucked up.
I also think we're getting to hair versus mask at some point in the near future. I don't know.
They're even going into hair versus mask.
What is that? Lucha de apueste, right? Is what they call that?
Yeah, apuestas. Yeah.
Sure. I don't know Spanish. So.
I was certainly looking to Astrid for that one.
I know. I was joking though.
And then we get to what will absolutely be the main event of night one. Mm-hmm. There are no questions about this. We have the freaking Nightmares going ahead and taking on the Bloodline, made up of the Tribal Chief and the Final Boss. Andre. As I know Astrid has no idea what to say. We're going to go to Astrid last on this one. What do you think, Andre?
The Rock pins Cody Rhodes. No, I look forward to this, but I don't see this coming out in any other way than the Bloodline winning and Brock getting to put that people's elbow right in Cody's pectoral region and then pinning him 1, the 2, and the 3. But I'm going to let everybody go through this because I have something I want to add on what would be post-match, so I'm going to let everybody make their predictions first. And The Rock gets his win over Cody to give him that semblance of like, haha, I beat you. And it gives Roman the advantage with, did he say it's going to be tribal combat? Yeah, which will make a tribal combat. And then we're going to, on night 2, we'll get the breaking glass and everything. But yeah.
Barry Monkey, we know who are winning the most predictable match in wrestling history.
And as I did that, I was doing that fist for The Rock. Not, I don't acknowledge Roman Reigns.
I acknowledge my tribal chief.
I acknowledge the final boss. But yeah.
But no, I think it's absolutely going to lead to tribal combat. I think this is absolutely the dominance of the Bloodline. I, however, have Rock pinning Seth Rollins in this match because I think that you save any type of pin from Cody and Rock for a potential Rock Cody match down the line. I think that there's money in world champion Cody taking on the final boss to finish the story. I still think there's another level to finish the story that might take place at SummerSlam where we have Cody versus Rock for that for the championship. So I think in this match, I think you have to pin Seth Rollins, Astrid, and then we'll go back to Andre for his other thought.
This one, I don't know who to pick as to who's getting pinned, but I have a feeling that The Rock is definitely winning the match for his team, because I feel like this is something that's going to come up later when he goes against Roman, of like, I'm the reason the match is a Bloodlines match for night 2 at WrestleMania, and being that he could say, I'm the final boss because I'm the one that got the victory for us, and I'm the one that gave you the opportunity for you to get all the family getting involved in the match the next night. So it's like he has to take credit for that somehow later on after everything happens. So I definitely have a feeling that The Rock is winning it for the team in itself. I don't know who would take the pin, though. That's the only thing to it, but I definitely see it because I see this being the start of how overbooked the match is going to be for night 2. So obviously it has to be that, that bloodline mess, everybody coming out. This is going to be like the Avengers scene when everybody's coming back with Captain America and that whole scene where everybody's coming out. We get the poses and everything. That's what we get from this overbooked mess that we get from night 2. So that's how I see it in the end. And just like, I kind of have a feeling that it will be Seth, just because I feel like it will be better to save Cody, like if anything, for all the mess in night 2. So that will be the only thing to it. But I think The Rock is definitely the person for this match. Especially when you have The Rock performing at WrestleMania after not performing for so many years, like he has to win somehow. And that's going to happen.
And there's nobody to bury here. Like, if The Rock wins this, it's not like he buries anybody. It's not like these guys are all at the top of their game. So if he pins somebody, it doesn't ruin a young star pinning them here. Because this is all leading to bigger matches tomorrow anyways. It's leading to Seth versus Drew. It's leading to Rock versus Cody versus Roman. What should be Rock versus Roman. Because Rock should have that match because Cody gave it up like the little bitch that he is. The Cody crybabies. But no, Andre, you had a thought that I think you wanted to go back. I don't know if Astrid said that already.
So post-match, I think this is where we get the big surprise of Damian Priest cashing in. And it creates a 3-way on night 2 for the title. And Damian Priest wins the World Championship here. And I don't care if it's a one-day reign. I really don't give a shit. But Damian Priest after the Bloodline gets their beatdown of Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, this is where Damian takes his shot, cashes in, wins it. He may only get a day reign and it goes to Drew McIntyre and we're the next day. I don't care. But I know it's a bold prediction. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, whatever. But I'm just going to say, I think this would be the more surprising cash in to have Damian do it on night 1 to create a 3-way on night 2.
I think he's creating a 3-way on night 2, but I think he's doing the heist of the century all over again onto Seth Rollins, and I think he cashes in mid-match. And I think Damian wins the world title tomorrow night on WrestleMania to open WrestleMania night 1.
I'm just saying it for just because that's what everybody seems to be protecting. I figured it was a bold thought, just like he cashes.
I love it. I love the idea. I love
because nobody expects him. Everybody expects him to cash in either during or after the world title match tomorrow. I want to see him do it after the Bloodline, which it won't just be these two. It's the entirety of the Bloodline is going to have destroyed these two in this match to win this, to get Tribal Combat. And that's where Priest says, okay, I'm taking my shot, and it goes off the air with Damian Priest as world champion, not with The Rock and Roman standing tall. That's the weird point.
I don't know if I'll be able to get Astrid to talk tomorrow if that happens, because she'll be too much in tears, pouring tears on the air if that's what happens at the end of night 1. But before we go ahead and do our plugs and stuff, I do want to go ahead and get Astrid's thoughts on some of your favorite matches and some things you might want to talk about just for yourself, to the audience, about things that will happen on night 2 of WrestleMania, since you won't be around to talk about it tomorrow.
I was like, why are you making me talk? No, looking forward to Io and Bailey. I know they're having a great build up there, and I want Bailey to get that crowning moment. Bittersweet, because I feel like it would have been great to have that as one of the main events and have the last of the horsewomen get the main event that I don't want to say needed, but to finish off in a good bow for that one. And then tomorrow is just going to be like me freaking out about Seth if he loses, if anything, because I know that's probably going to happen. And then not looking forward to watching Logan. I just want either Randy or KO to win that, unfortunately. for him. But I think the other match will be LA Knight and Age. I think that will be something that I'm looking forward to as well. Again, this would have been nice to just see another women's match on the card for tomorrow. That's the only thing, like a downfall for me when it comes to that. I'm hoping this to do something. You never know because it's WrestleMania, but see how it goes.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Like I said, you're not going to be around tomorrow, so I figured we'd give you the opportunity here. Andre, I want you to go ahead and talk about what you've got coming up and what you.
I don't get to talk about tomorrow. I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm kidding. But I will say I'm looking for LA Knight and AJ Styles. I think it's going to be fire. Those two. Again, I think they're going to have a great. And again, I think this is AJ getting towards the end of his career, getting ready to wind everything down. So you got to give him that. Got to give him that big point. I know he got the Taker match. Now he gets to have LA Knight, and then again, Io Sky versus Bayley is going to be an absolute barn burner. I cannot wait for that. And we'll see what the main event is. We'll see how Roman versus Cody goes. We'll see. I almost hope that the story does not get completed.
Me too. We have Mike the Ref jumping in saying if Dwayne wins, does Gallus beat the Ward?
Wait. Mike, you're wrong. It's not the Ward. It's the Wolf Dogs. War Dogs are Japan, buddy.
Well, they can beat them too because their show's not in. We also have Barry saying we all need a match to go to the toilet too. That'd be Logan Paul's on night 2. So
no. That's the Pride versus Final Testament.
All right. Andre, go ahead and tell the good people where they can find you and what you've got coming up with our local establishment this week or this upcoming week.
You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melba Wrestling Talk. You can find me on YouTube where we do our NJPW Poodle Wrestling review, our Starter review, and our Chop Talk covering local independent wrestling scene at youtube.com/at Andre M. Melba Wrestling Talk. You can also see all the simulcasts over at Backbreaker Video for all those. You can find me this week, actually, Wednesday. Me, this guy. This beautiful man right here. We're going to be hanging out. Marvel Talk is back, but it's not the rebound, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for some new content. It's time for X-Men 97, the first 5 episodes, which episode 4 I still got to watch. I still have to watch, but yeah, the first 5 episodes, me and Ed, we're gonna break them down. I'm looking forward to it. The first 3 were so good. I'm gonna see what 4 is probably today at some point, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I'm so excited to talk that with Ed on Wednesday night, 8 p.m. as usual for Marvel Talk.
And what about this thing?
SundaysMainEvent.com. If you want to hear mine and Mel's stuff in audio form, go to SundaysMainEvent.com. You can hear it all in audio form over there. And if you want to support them, go to Patreon.com/SNME Radio for only $4 American per month.
Astrid, I know you just did this about 20 minutes ago before we finished our last show.
No, it was an hour ago.
It was an hour and 20 minutes ago.
It feels like 10 minutes ago.
It wasn't. You can find me on my Twitter and Blue Skies, Astrid Pizarro, Instagram and Threads, Astrid Pizarro 20. Everything else you can find on my YouTube channel. Everything from today, you can find me a little bit later doing the Night 1 post show. And then after that, on Tuesday again, doing Taking Over with Ed, as we discussed, following Stand and Deliver on NXT. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, and of course, you can find me right here, like I said earlier, EdFries12584. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/EdFries2002. But I want to take this opportunity to go ahead and talk about our local establishment things that we got going on. And you can go ahead and find all of our local establishment stuff at the links provided. And just wanted to go ahead and give you a recap of the things that are coming up for the rest of the weekend as we go ahead and we have the Night 1 post show. Yes, Tony from Get the Tables. You can't see it because it's unfortunately hidden by the banner, but Get the Tables and our local establishment come together. As soon as the Get the Tables watch along is over, he's going to be going ahead and joining us. It'll be in progress as we go ahead and do that. But me and Ashton will get the show started as we talk all the makings of what happened tonight at Night 1 of WrestleMania. Then you can go ahead and catch King Mark, Tom Collihue, myself, and Bobby Munson. Yes, 4 white guys talking wrestling, something you've never seen before in any ways of the internet. 4 random white guys talking wrestling. It's such a unique appearance.
Well, there's 2
I would like
to it's a multicultural because there's 4 people from 3 different countries. Come on.
I know. That's what I said. We got a Canadian, an American, and 2 British people. That's diversity. I don't want to tell you. But I do want to say that we here at our local establishment try to get as much diversity as we can, which is why sometime on Sunday afternoon, not because we don't have a defined time or because of the fact that, we don't want to, but Auntie Collins is getting married probably right now. So go ahead and wish her a thank you on Twitter, or congratulations on Twitter for getting married today. But her and Kyle K. Sparks at some point tomorrow afternoon after Point of View will be going ahead and talking all of the wonderful things at Supercard of Honor and the despicable things of Supercard of Honor when it comes to the Women's Television Championship finish. But you can also then, after night 2 is over, come back here. Mark Talks Wrestling joins us one more time, as well as Stephanie Hardy from the Hardy Wrestling Podcast goes ahead and joins me and Bobby Munson as we talk all things night 2 of WrestleMania. So please make sure you go ahead and join us for that. I am very excited to work with Stephanie Hardy. She is a fantastic person in the space, and I cannot wait to do it. But for myself, for our special guest, Andre C., and for the lovable the lovable and the natural Astrid Pizarro, we want to thank you. We're going to go ahead and send you off to Tom Collahue and his watch along, but make sure that you can also get the tables doing a watch along. And after our night 1 is over, we're going to send you guys over to Mike the ref as he goes ahead and does his collision watch along after that. So we're going to send you all to our good friend Tom Collahue. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.